Safaree, you made it.
Oh, of course. I wouldn't miss this for nothing.
Man, listen, it's always great to catch up with you. I saw your beautiful fiance, which is also part of the family, Erica. So she's hanging out here being your number one fan.
I've been doing so much press like this whole week, and when I told her I was coming here to do your show, she said, I got to come.
Yeah, you know what? She's always been herself, authentic, anytime I've ever seen her. And I think that's just why so many people love her. And she, you know what I loved before the camera started rolling? You had your coat out. She looked at it from the cameras, was like, that's not looking right.
You know what?
She came in here. She made you look right.
And I'm thinking it was going to look cool with it laying here. That's why I left it there. I was like, yo, it's going to look cool. It's going to be here. I ain't going to have it on. It's just going to be there. I was going to maybe put it on the floor. And she's like,
she was like, this looks crazy.
Nah, she be helping me out a lot.
That's love right there.
Absolutely.
How much did she influence your song, No Regular Girl? Is it about her?
Oh, she influenced it like, you know, from the beginning to the end with a mixture of me just thinking about, you know, things that my mother and my sister, their upbringing, because I was raised with all women. So I just wanted to like really do something that like uplift women and just let them know like, you know, how amazing they are. And I know it sounds corny and cliche.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's important to hear this.
I really just feel like women, they really just deserve way more respect than what they get, you know, whether they are entertainer, whether they're just a normal person walking in the street. I just feel like women should really be held to the utmost, no matter how wrong a woman is. A guy should never argue like to a point of it getting physical or whatever with the woman. If I've ever been in situations in the past where a woman was really getting like that irate, I would run before it got to any type of crazy situation that could get me locked up. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And so the song is about Erica. I think it's fair to say. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when music comes from a genuine place, you can hear it, which is why it's, honestly, I was just talking to our program director, and he was like, I really like the song. It's really good. But I think that's important, especially when it's you, right? Because I feel like you are unapologetic who you are.
Yeah. And it's crazy. Anytime, like with certain songs that I do or just things that have to do with like my real life and real situations and I write about it, for some reason it's like that just be the most relatable thing to people, and it just ends up like being the best. Like with this song today, the response that I've gotten on No Regular Girl, out of every record I've ever dropped, this is the best response I've ever gotten. The most, I did 1 million views in 5 days, number 2 on iTunes in the genre that it's in. That's never happened with none of my records before. So, and I didn't even announce I was dropping it. Like, I just was like, yo, I'm doing something special for my fans on Friday. And I said that like 3 days before, and then I just dropped it out the blue. I was trying to act like I was Beyonce, and it worked. Like I got the most amazing feedback ever.
Well, I mean, you should probably say thank you to Erica.
Thank you, honey.
I think she's brought out such beautiful emotions from you, right? And to see this relationship blossom the way it has, how did you know she was the one? Do you remember those emotions and feelings?
That's so crazy. She asked me that the other day. She was like, yo, what, like, when did you feel like, okay, I'm going to do that?
These are such girl questions, by the way. It's like, okay, so tell us.
All right, so look, prior to this, I always thought it was a joke because I never thought I could really get her. So I used to just be trying to, like, bag her and just do all of this, like, extra stuff, but I didn't feel like it could actually happen. So me just being like that and just being playful with her, it just made us end up really just building a friendship. And then, you know, I remember one time, because she was always curbing me. She was curbing me for so long. Yeah, like I couldn't. And the first time we met, it was so funny because she was in a relationship and I was kind of in a situation. And when I first saw her, I was like,
yo, can you hear Erica?
What? All right, I was dating her friend. I didn't want to be super specific, but I forgot how, like...
Listen, Erica's here. She's going to keep it 100. I'm about to bring her out here to tell us the truth. Don't... You have a chance right now.
All right, yeah. I was dating her friend, right? she was with someone at the moment, and that was the first time I ever saw her. We were at a strip club, and when I seen her, she was just like, "Oh, hi, how you doing?" And I looked at her, and I was like, "Wow." I'm like, "Yo, you look crazy in person."
In a great way.
Yeah, like in a good way. And she was like, "Oh, thank you, thank you." And then that was like the end of it. And I was like, "Yo, please." I'm like, "Yo, follow me on Instagram." I've never done that before. I was like, "Yo,
You
please."
told her this?
I was like, "Yo, please." I was like, "Yo, follow me on Instagram." And she followed me. And then I remember one time I seen her leave like an emoji or some sort of comment under one of my pictures. Yo, I was so hype. But I just was like an excited fan kind of hype, because I didn't see it going anywhere else other than that, because she was in her situation. It didn't look like it was about to end anytime soon or nothing like that. And then when we did that show Scared Famous, that's when we kind of like spent a lot of time together, but we still wasn't on that vibe until the first day when we woke up the next morning, and because we were all living together, when she walked out the room and I saw how she looked with no makeup, I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Yo, that's how you look when you wake up?" And she was looking at me like, "Yo, what is wrong with you?" I'm like, "Nah." I said, "Yo, bro, if I could get that, I would wife it."
And you are.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah, and that's what happened.
So what happened to the mutual friend?
The friend. You know what it was? The situation with the mutual friend. It was like we was dealing, and it was like a physical thing, but we never like were in a relationship.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think she used to tell me that the girl used to be telling her like how crazy the sex was and all of this stuff.
That's uncomfortable, by the way, right?
Yo,
Erica, okay, thumbs up from Erica. She was good with it.
I guess she liked to it helped her out. So,
to know, before anything occurs,
She was like, "Yo, the girl used to be calling her and telling her like everything in super detail," and she just was like, "Damn, like this shit sounds crazy." But I didn't know about none of this until like recently. Like I just found this out.
So do we know, are they still friends? Are they cool? Are they not? Or is that
I don't think they've spoken in a long time. But then you know what too is weird, because even with like other people who I may have been talking to or around or dealing with that know her or that was so called cool, and then now me and her are what we are, then people would be wanting to act like, "Oh, that's foul that y'all are together," or
why do you think people feel like that?
I don't know. I just feel like with some people, when they just in this, especially in this business, like some people just be miserable.
That is yes.
Some people, they just be miserable. They don't like to see people happy. Some people, they don't believe it, and then it's just like it's just weird. Some people just be, and there was somebody who was like, "Oh, what? You wasn't taking me serious, so don't be mad when it looks like I'm taking her serious now." You know what? You know what I'm saying? Get the hell out of here.
I like this. I like this relationship because you guys are happy.
And I've never even explained this part of like me and her getting there. So it's the first time I'm talking about it.
I hope you two are enjoying each other.
Yeah, we definitely are.
I think that's the most important part of this, is because while there might be noise or whatnot, I hope you two are enjoying this connection and cherishing it and protecting it.
Let me tell you something. And she kind of, you know what? She could come in now. You could bring her in now if you want. You know what I'm saying?
Erica, come in.
Because as far as cherishing it and protecting it, she sometimes gets mad at me because I don't want to go out or just do certain things. But like, yo, I like to just stay home and be with her. Like, I don't need to go out.
That's love, by the way. Come on, grab a seat. And then Costello, you needed to fix the cameras, right?
I knew this part would come. I was like,
here, that's the mic right there. Pause.
But
okay, let's clarify.
Okay, wait. First off,
she was my associate.
Okay,
she's an associate. I take friendship serious. Girl code.
Okay, cool.
An associate.
Yeah, no. See those. That's why I wanted her here, because especially in our lady world, it's important that we clarify certain things.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm so loyal, so she was very like vocal on their sexual experiences together, and I enjoyed listening.
Hey, man. So you were okay with wanting to know him and get to know him, even though you weren't checking for him before. So you're just like, all right, fine. Yeah. What was it that made you be open to it? Especially because, you know, you've had your heart broken.
Yeah.
What made
you guys have all seen. I love triangles.
Yes. What made you want to open up and try to fall in love again? Because it's easy to close out everything that's coming your way.
Safaree brings a calmness and a peace at the same time, still being so very exciting. Stop. This is serious. No, for real.
Okay.
I could see this.
You know, so and that's something you probably won't think.
No, I'm the
because he's
calm
so
one.
loud to the world, and so I call him the walking landmark. To me, he's like the most famous person I've ever dealt with because I could step out of a car and like Safaree.
Right.
But, you know, on a regular day-to-day basis, he just brings this calmness, this peace, this like, wow, like we can still laugh and be, you know, joyful and exciting, but still have this, you know, level of just like enjoying life.
If it was up to me, we would stay in the house and never go anywhere. And that's I feel like that's the best way to protect it. We're very big on who we're around. We don't just let any random people come in and because I've been in situations and sometimes people just want to come and stare like zoo animals and see, hey, what's going on? And
Safaree doesn't really like crowds or a lot of where I do. I'm Latin. I grew up every day pretty much having some type of functioning in my house. A lot of people, music, and
But family's important for you, though, right?
Yeah.
But no, family,
But
family, and
yeah.
Yes.
Even though I've kind of made you more of a family person, right? Like as far as like
I
spending
feel like
more time.
yeah. You know what?
Leave
She's
it to him. He'll
definitely
stay home.
yeah.
And not make the effort to go
He'll
see
just
on
stay home
family
and read the Bible and like watch Animal Planet. He's really that guy.
Like we were supposed to be leaving like tomorrow, but then she was like, yo, your niece's birthday is Saturday, they want to do a get-together thing, and then she was like, we should stay for that and leave the day after. And then when she said that, I was like, damn, you're right, because like I've never been here for none of my niece's parties, and she's about to be 5 because
Wow.
I just was always
I'm really
traveling
big
and
on
stuff
that,
like
though.
that. So
like family and even though a lot of people don't get to see me be a mother, which is a choice of mine,
Right.
just to kind of keep that
But that's
sacred.
what you want to share. You don't have to
but
share.
like I really make time for family and like occasions and things like that. Like that's very important, especially for us. We're like always on the go, working and stuff like that. It's like this is the time to reap what you sow.
and
Right.
You
she's
know, with the ones you love, the ones
Right.
that matter.
and she's one
So-
of the best cooks on the face of this earth.
I did not know this.
Yo, let me tell you something. Like her food, like, and I've met girls where they be like, oh, I could cook, and then they have 3 or 4 dishes, and then it's like, all right, that's cool. Like, me and her, we've been together like every single day since like God knows how long. And the only time she'll repeat a dish is if I ask her to say, yo, could you make such and such again? Like she'll just
Erica, we need a day. Are you kidding me? This
yo,
is crazy.
her food is
I love to
crazy.
cook.
Yo,
I love to be home and
she makes
and,
she has a Boston market on steroids. Like one day she made this dish. It looked like a Boston market dish,
my big
but it was
chicken,
just like
my homemade gravy. It's just basic things, but
That's not just light work,
nah.
Erica. You're
She
talking-
don't.
You're being real
None of her
humble
food.
right
No,
now.
none of her food is regular food. Like her food is like she don't let me come in the kitchen when she's cooking it. She, like,
oh my god, it's such a pet peeve of mine. Like, stay out my kitchen.
Well, yeah, because I feel like that's your space.
Yeah, and then he's like, "What are we eating? Food."
Yeah.
Like, don't. I just like to like cook and
Do
and
whatever
play
you
my
wanna do.
music.
Smoothies, the breakfast is crazy. Even the breakfast is like different. She made me start eating my oatmeal different because look, I'm Jamaican. Jamaicans, black people, we eat oatmeals in a bowl. She puts it in a plate, and I used to
because
see her
it's
put it.
warmer.
Really?
Yeah, because when you go around it, it's warm. So as you keep going, so you don't have to worry about it being hot.
Yeah, when you eat it in a plate, it's cooler to eat.
Wow, I just
As you
learned
eat
something
around
because
the
I
plate,
eat out of a bowl.
and you get to the middle, it's still warm, but as
Yo,
you're eating it, it's
it
warm
makes
enough for you to eat.
It makes a big difference. I used to get so mad watching her eat oatmeal in a plate. I used to be like, yo, what type of like?
And he used to be there blowing, and I'll be there going around eating.
Try it in a
And then
plate.
finally, he's like, "Babe, can I try it in a plate?" Like, okay, I know you
and
come
now
around.
you just eat your
It's always
oatmeal
in a
out of a plate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this relationship has changed you?
Yeah, because I feel like I don't remember being in a headspace where I was so happy by myself.
Wow.
Before, it's like I was in situations, but I wasn't happy by myself. Like sometimes I would go in another room and look in the mirror and just cry at, be like, damn, like, who am I? Like, what am I doing with myself?
Right.
Like, what's my purpose here? But then, you know, before me and her really locked in and made it what it was, it's like I got to be alone for a long time and find myself, have my own identity, and just be able to, like, you know,
You cry.
be
I know,
myself.
that's great.
So, you know,
feel like you could be yourself.
I'm 100% myself. Like, I don't have to change for nothing. Sometimes I'll be loud and scream outrageous things, and she understands and she gets it. Like, if I gotta sleep like without her, it's like it feels torturous.
Oh.
Like last night she had to go do her hosting. I didn't go because these people, they book her and then it's not a 2-for-1. Y'all not slick. It's not happening.
It's not a 2-for-1.
Yeah.
Well, you have to be mindful and protect your business.
Absolutely.
You have to do that.
Yeah.
Erica, how about for you? When did you know that he was the one? Like, what was it about him that, I mean,
I never
you're so
asked that.
vulnerable.
Thank
You're
you.
so, you know, loving to him. So what was it that made you be okay to do this?
Her birthday.
Because you had such a block, and
Yeah,
I
made
felt
me cry. Around the time I was in a really bad, I was ending a relationship, and I was locked up, and I had time in jail where I was just like, what am I doing? Why am I like, I'm giving so much of myself and I'm not getting enough back. I'm losing myself, and I'm just like, you know, in my head, I'm telling myself, I'm Erica Mena, you're King's mom, you know, you're Sonia's daughter, like, you know, just trying to keep myself going. And I remember as soon as I got out of jail, he was the first person that called me. And I had him blocked because I was in a relationship. So I blocked him because I knew how he felt about me, and I had the respect for the relationship that I was in.
I couldn't reach her. She blocked me on Instagram.
I just felt like it was just
and on
out of
phone.
respect for the relationship. I just
makes sense.
Yeah, you know, like this, he can't be calling me liking me. I'm in a relationship. I'm really serious about relationships. So it was like, you know, I had to sacrifice, and I was just like, this is where I'm at right now, and I can't.
Well, you have to, right?
So when I got out of jail, he was like the first person that called me, and I knew in that moment, this is a man that not only appreciated me and like loved me, but like cared about my life. Like no one ever like really took the time to like care about my life and like where I would go.
Right, and just care differently about you than.
Stop it.
No, this is beautiful, because I think so many people might have the wrong idea or not really understand Erica's story, or even yours, you know.
A lot of people don't understand
And
her
I think
story.
that's
A
part
lot
of the-
a lot of people don't get to see the real her. And you want to know what? Me, before I got to really know her, that's another reason why I was like kind of on the fence about really trying to pursue her, because I'm like, man, you know, her thing is that, yo, she's rough, she's crazy, she'll beat you up. She's a pit bull. And I'm like, yo, I can't deal with that. And then, like, when I just started to be around her, I'm just like, look, if I don't do things to poke at a beast, the beast won't be awoke. Like, if I'm here to just be calm and be relaxed, there's no way it would make sense for you to be fighting and stabbing and scratching at a normal human being if he's not doing stuff to poke at you. If you're doing that, then you're just simply crazy. Then I know, all right, cool. It's definitely not me, it's you.
He was always persistent, but like very respectful. You know,
that's
like
nice.
he took time to like learn my family, know my family, speak to my family. And this is when we weren't even together.
Behind her back.
You know, behind my back. You know, and then like I said, coming out of jail, it's like for someone to really be like, yo, you know, like this ain't about me, this ain't about you, like you got King, like you can't be in these situations. Like this is, you have a bigger purpose, and it's only you doing this. Like you have a lot of people who you take care of and, you know, support. And it's like, if they lose you, what's gonna happen? Like for someone to really care about you and your life and who you have a part of in your family, and, you know, and take that initial, and it wasn't even about him trying to, you know, me being in a vulnerable state trying to.
I wasn't trying to bag it.
Right. You were just trying to be there for her.
I just wanted her to be straight. I just was
at
like,
one point, I think I even felt like, oh, maybe he's over me. He just really wants to, he's accepting the friendship thing that
he's accepted this.
Yeah, like he's accepted the whole, you know, that I would, but that was like, and it was funny because it was right before my birthday, and I was just like, and I had just lost my father and stuff, so it was,
a lot has happened.
Yeah,
you've gone through a lot, and I think part of it, Erica, is that everything's so public, so you don't really get to.
Everything's public, but a lot of my personal isn't.
Right.
So it makes people not understand me in its entirety.
They only the ones that they see that they
like I get bashed all the time. Like, we never see your son. You're on vacations, and it's like, my son's around.
Right.
It's just my son right. He hates.
He doesn't like social media.
Oh my!
you know what
he said? He's like, why would I? He's like, why would I get an Instagram to be brainwashed like you guys? Like, that's my.
I love him.
And he's 12 years old.
Yo, let me tell you something.
So he talks about modern day feminism. My son is just bigger than.
He's smarter.
Me.
He's smarter
Yes.
than so many adults that like we speak to on the daily. Like you sit there and speak to him, you're gonna learn something.
And how is he taking you in? Does he understand the dynamics right now? Because you know that's the ultimate approval.
Before I proposed, I asked him, and like I made him. He was a part of the proposal and everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
it's funny because I didn't even
that was
know
the
about
last
the conversation, but I'm like having a breakdown. Like, oh my god, this is happening.
Is
I come
this what you
I see my
wanted?
son holding flowers, and when King brings me the flowers, he looks at Safaree and he's like,
I love
and
this.
that right there, I knew there was something beyond that.
Yes,
You know,
this
in the
is
sense
what
of,
you
like-
want. Yes.
Yeah, and that was that was like the beyond cherry on top. That like my son doesn't like anybody.
Really.
Yeah, and the last time I was engaged, he was very traumatized with that experience. That
Poor
I really did not expect him to ever be open to anybody else. But like he met Safaree, he was very,
Yeah, like who are you?
he
Like,
calls
you talking,
he calls
you know.
me he calls me victim. He doesn't call me Safaree
yeah,
either.
he has
Because he likes
Why?
because he likes to beat me up, and I just let him.
so he calls him the victim. But and now he's into girls. So one thing he was just like, yeah, I had to learn this girl thing, and Safaree's like, man, and that was their like initial
Connection, right.
He's like, you want to know about the girls? You got the
What
right
kind
one.
of advice are you giving him, Safaree?
You know what? It's really good because
Okay,
Safaree's
is it
so
good?
romantic.
Okay.
Nah, I'm
So
done,
King
yeah.
has this romantic Rico Suave thing going on right now, and I adore it because like he doesn't get a lot of time with his real father, and he doesn't have a lot of like male figures besides my brother, and it's just me who's
Looking out.
and my mom and my sisters. It's a lot of women in our family,
And you're good with this, right, Safaree? You because
great.
look, I'm not a doctor or therapist, but from what I've heard is that when you enter a child's life, you have to be consistent. You have to be committed. Those are really big responsibilities. And
Just walk in the park.
yeah, good.
Walk in the park.
It's my job as a lady to make sure that the playing field is
He does
fair.
say that King makes him feel dumb because King will want to talk about global warming and
Good,
politics.
as he should.
Politics and things like that.
Yes.
So
I bought him like
he's-
I bought him a
telescope.
I bought him a telescope and another one of them, some other like smart gadget for outer space
Good.
thing. Yeah, but it's still in the box. he never
Yeah,
opened
it's
it.
true.
So, so when you called Erica, did you call from your phone or was he still blocked at that
Another
point?
number.
I'm trying to.
Another number.
It was another number because I picked up like
yeah.
when I tell
Oh, no,
you
there
Ness,
was-
I literally just walked out of jail.
You called from another number.
Yeah, because no, there was somebody who a publicist she was working with at the time. Like I was talking to her and I was like, "Yo, I need a contact on that woman right now." I'm like, "She is bugging, big bugging." I said, "I need to speak to her ASAP." And we spoke. I just was like, "Yo, like, what are you doing?"
Right.
I'm like you need to wake up. Like this is not where you're supposed to be. I'm like jail. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, you like, come on.
I think everyone felt that same way.
Yeah.
Very like, what?
Yeah. I mean, I've done a lot of crazy things, but
Yeah.
And she's never
I've never jeopardized like
Right.
and people
know?
still don't know nothing, even about that situation, even with things that they see on TV. What you see on TV, that's just what they show you.
Right.
Like she doesn't. There's just so much that people don't know. She doesn't really open herself up for people to like. Nitpicking. Like I'm way more open. Like with me, I'm like an open book. Like being in the public eye. With her, she's
like if things happen, just kind of take it.
You're open, but you're not.
Yeah.
Right. You show what you want, but there's a lot in and
I don't know how or why, but I'm just able to
survival. It's
I'm just
protection.
able to hold in a lot and just go through.
It's
the
part
day.
of how you survive.
It's so funny because my friend that
That's
was bringing us
Spanish.
here, she's just like, I don't know how you deal with all the things you deal with. Her knowing me
But are you-
really, personally, and I'm just like, I don't know either. But I pray a lot, and God got me, and that's.
But are you
all I
taking the
need.
time to take care of yourself, Erica?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
And then the good thing now is like I have someone to lay in bed with. If I want to cry,
he's there.
if I want to smile,
He's there.
And then and just be open. Like, this is how I feel. This is what I want. This is my dream. This is where I want to go. This is who I am right now. This is how I feel. This is what I'm thinking. Like, I finally have someone to talk to. I used to talk to myself. Now I just like I have somebody. So
This is beautiful.
And
you know why?
I push her to do stuff too. Like I'm always telling her.
he made me
like,
quit smoking, drinking.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
drink
like,
anymore.
You know what though? While
Love
you
and hip hop scenes might be quite interesting because I'll be sober finally.
which is good. But here's the
Yeah.
thing. While he may have helped you get there, you still wanted it for yourself.
I did.
Right?
I
And
just
he
needed
helped
like
you
a
support.
source.
Yes.
Yeah, because
Like a real thrive,
when,
someone
Yes.
like on my neck.
Like
Yes.
when I knew I was ready to take it serious, I said the only thing that will make me not be able to be all the way in with this is if she can't stop drinking.
And what happened that
And
day?
I said, I didn't even say this to her. I was saying it to myself. I said, yo, like I'm really in love with her, but if she cannot stop drinking, I can't do this. She texts me out the blue.
Wow.
Hey, I've been
No.
thinking about it and I really want to stop drinking and I'm going to stop. Like out of the blue, like that same day, I was like, yo, I said, yo, I could cry right now. I know you think
Yes.
I'm being
So I
extra.
haven't drank
and
in a very long time.
you know what I'm saying?
How
like
do you feel?
when we go on vacation, she'll have her little.
I have like a fruity cocktail, but it's just. But I used to drink Nessa. I used to drink like hard liquor straight on the rocks.
And
Every and anything.
it's your
mixed.
kryptonite. You can't.
But like
Right.
my tolerance level, there is no tolerance. Like I could drink all day hard, mix, and still be. The only thing that would happen is I'll wake up the next day. And
No,
probably not
that's the
forget
thing.
not forget
She
the day.
she thinks she'll still be okay, but I see it. I see like when it
My
gets to a
vein.
certain
I have a
level,
vein.
I see her face change, and I'm like, yo, I hate this face that overcomes you when you start to drink, and no,
You want to see her at her greatest.
exactly.
You want to
Yeah.
see her, and that's what you want.
But
That's
the time I would drink because it would just be a lot of pressure every day. So
Right.
just dealing with just everything I deal with, and then filming and
Right.
And we need-
I'm the one that's most vulnerable and unfiltered.
Yes.
That I really did feel for a long time like a lot of the pressure of like my days of like really hardcore filming Love and Hip Hop. I would just do like scenes and never knew who would pop up on me, and I just never knew how to deal with that anxiety, and that's
Yeah,
liquor
you
was my
definitely
source.
get anxiety doing that because imagine you coming to work every day, right?
Right.
And then there's some people you don't get along with, and when you come to do your show, you just never know. Yo, is this
gotta-
They're
person
going
who
to
you
show up. They're going to be here. They're going to
Yes,
prep.
yeah.
They're going to anxiety is the best way
And
to
then when
explain.
cameras are on, people are different.
Of course, and there's a whole editing process. There's a
Yeah.
lot that goes behind it.
It was a lot.
I was trying to understand what all happened on Love and Hip Hop and the reunion because I really didn't watch everything.
Yeah,
Nobody did. Don't worry.
I was very like, okay, so I was
Grimy.
confused, and you guys helped me enlighten me.
Yeah.
So what are you and Joe Budden okay, or what's going on? Because I feel like it can always be a better place. Maybe I'm just a very
Nah,
hey,
you know-
we can be all right.
Yeah, like it's not like it's a beef when I see you. It's on site. It's just okay. We not cool. We don't need to speak. It is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be walking around and acting like it's beef and when I see you on site or whatever.
Because it's never that serious.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's not that serious. It's just
I think with me coming into the equation, it made things complicated for that side.
So if I
Because even from the time when we went viral, going to the game,
right.
he got calls like, "This is me. She's on the show." And it's like, who over there is insecure enough to worry if I'm going to take your shine or not?
So
So it really started
before and
as
then
soon as they knew we were together.
Got it.
They were reaching.
So if I'm understanding right, and correct me,
Mm-hmm.
okay, the concern was he wanted you to inform them because if Erica was going to come around
Mm-hmm.
because you and his lady obviously had a past. Do I
That's-
understand this
They
correct?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Okay.
mind you, his lady made it her business to talk to me at my sister's
But
baby
yeah,
shower.
it just didn't make sense because
And it was just like-
we were together before in different venues.
Yeah, prior to this, we were
Doesn't everyone
together.
get along, or am I assuming
I mean,
the
honestly,
best?
when it comes to that side, there's no hard feelings. There's no, I rubbed the belly. He held the baby.
This is good.
Like, we've had equal embracement when
Okay,
it comes
this
to
is
that
good.
relationship. So that's why it's just like,
Okay.
Hip Hop Squares, I was rubbing the belly. After the baby was born, he held the baby.
I felt, I guess.
So I don't understand where that came from, but it just stems from insecurities that are going on behind closed doors, really. Because from the time we hit the basketball court, we were getting calls,
Look,
is she really on the show?
Some people just don't know how to handle or just deal with being themselves on cameras. That's it. Just some people get on these platforms and they let it change them. There's nothing else that's it.
This could easily be fixed, and not because I just
There was
want to be a
nothing-
peacemaker.
There was no real issue.
There was no real issue
I feel
before-
like at the
okay.
end of the day, it was a concern. Is she going to possibly be on the show, being that I'm with him now? Then it was, mind you, prior to
But isn't
the
that
vacation,
right?
Sin came up to me, made it her business to pull me to the side, hug me. And she claimed on the reunion was to be cordial. Ma, you are more than cordial. You made it your business to acknowledge me in my presence at my sister's baby shower. So it's not your husband's coworker. That's my family. So at the end of the day, you did the right choice. You made the right choice. But how you acted out afterwards it just proved your insecurities. Because no one saw me, Ness. No one saw me. Unless you went to my Instagram physically and saw my page, you would have not even known I was there. Not even Mona knew I was there, and she was there.
What would it take to get everybody on a good page? I know there's no serious beef or anything, but I feel like there's so much history.
Just stop being insecure, because at the end of the day, it's like they have their thing going. God bless
And
them.
they're happy,
They have their
and they're
family,
loving, right.
you know, whatever. And the same thing with us, you know, like,
Right.
you know, not to toot my own horn, but no one would even know about a portion of that side had it not been for me. And I'm not even feeling that much animosity. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You want a stage checking my man that if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't even be on that stage. So it's a bigger picture, and there's a lot of elements to it that people forget. They get caught up and think they self-made. You're not self-made. Sorry.
I feel, and I feel like there's a lot of miscommunication, maybe, right? Maybe I'm a peacemaker.
Yeah, you are.
You know
You're
what
sweet.
it is? You know what? I've seen you for such a long time. I know there's history, and I know this
me
is
raw.
so.
You even knew me at that time.
Yes, and I think this is so minimal.
It is.
Nah, you know what it is? Look, when you look at things and it's like put out the way they put it out, it kind of, and I understand where you're coming from, it could seem more than what it really is.
'Cause that's
just
really
because
what
of
it
how
is.
the show is put together and how they make it seem, but it's really...
But do you understand? Would you have wanted a heads up?
No.
Me playing devil's advocate. If someone might have been, hey,
Nah, not
If
not
you're a grown
not,
man, why are you checking for another grown
Nah,
man
not-
woman?
not- not-
I get
Period.
that.
not
Okay.
when, but nobody saw her. So,
But the
and
real
nobody,
thing is,
nobody's
this grown man has an insecure woman. So she was worried about seeing me frolic in my bikini
right?
or whatever it is. Like, Ma, I'm not even worried about you. Like, and then that's really what it comes down to. It's like an insecurity thing. And it's like, I'm sorry you feel that way. But at the end of the day, the same show you bitching about me possibly being on an island about is the same show I brought you on. Like, are you forgetting the big factor here? Like, you know, I'm not even talking about you. You're spending your time finally having the television screen
I
to
really was
yourself.
confused when
That's
that
what
happened.
I'm saying.
Look,
Everybody was.
a lot of people
this
was
is your
confused
time to shine, and
because
you bringing up
only-
me. Why?
Yeah, but look, a
Didn't
lot
I
of
teach
people
you
were
the game
confused.
better
A
than
lot of
that?
people were confused because it just, anyone who's just looking at it with logic, it doesn't make sense. So that's what's confusing about it.
And that's why I think that situation could be fixed and dealt with, not because only I'm trying to be a peacemaker. I just think, you know, life is short, and I think it's very minimal
Yes.
on a big scale. Now, on a different hand, I didn't understand the Rich situation. That's truly what I did.
He's a moron.
That I really, and I didn't understand because I thought everybody was in a better place.
Yeah,
Now,
me too. And
you
then when
guys-
he made the whole statement, it was like, oh, she had just as many as men. She been through just as many as men as I've been through. You've been through too. So it's like, Where did you come from with that, Rich? Like, you were trying to blow me over? Like,
does it
Yeah,
hurt?
but look.
But
Let
does
me
it hurt? But like, take that aside. Does it hurt you when you hear, whether it's Rich or someone from the past, maybe say hurtful things? Or
I wouldn't say it hurts. It just gets under my skin as far as the Rich thing, because he knows how bad he did me. Taking advantage of how hungry I was and what I wanted out of my career, and like what I was trusting him with for so long, which we saw.
And hearing this and
like,
hearing
to this day,
is,
no one takes me serious about anything music because I dealt with him. So it's just like I always got to deal with being some essence of a joke because I had some affiliation with you and how you handled my business and what we were trying to accomplish.
Right.
So I thought was the goal behind the scenes on camera. So it's just like, why? And then you've seen, wait, how long has it been since, Rich? I've been doing so great without you. So, and the fact is, like, I never really needed you. I was relying on you. If anything, I didn't need you. I was relying on you
and
to help me because you made Cassie, you made this, you made that, you made all these people, which he brags about, which hasn't, you know.
All right, but look,
it's just that element, you know?
In real life, like outside of this show, like I know what I'm doing, I know what she's doing. Like I'm really traveling the world and booked up. Like I'm doing stuff in real life, so with stuff that be happening on the show, like outside of filming, like once I leave filming, like I'm not one of those people who are on the show that sits there and think of like everything under the sun that I'm gonna do for a storyline because I need to make sure that I'm on the show because I want to be seen on it. I know I'm lit. In real life, outside of this show, I am lit. Like I'm really booked. Like I'm going to Dubai next week. I'm going to Jamaica the next 2 weeks after that. I'm going to Jamaica again. Like I'll be really out here doing shows, dropping music that's doing good. So I don't like to like really
dwell on it. Yeah.
Not even dwell on it. Like I don't want to be put in a category with people that's not on my level.
Safaree, how do you think you've been able to maneuver that? Because I feel like you could give some great advice. I feel like you've gone through different transitions in your career, in your life. Because for a lot of people, they didn't know the work that you do and what you've done. They knew you dated somebody, you dated Nikki and whatnot, but you've been able to transition.
Yeah, thank God.
Was that hard for you? Because
It took 5 years. It took 5 years, but like it finally happened. And you know, I tell people all the time, like I never gave up. I didn't take no for an answer. When people try to act like, yo, you this, that, and the third, oh, you can't do this, oh, we don't want to hear this, oh, I'm going to prove you wrong. I know I got a lot of haters, and I love proving people wrong. Like, every time certain situations would happen with me, people would be like, oh, he's done, or he's done. And every time, like, I would always flip it. And just make it something where I benefit from it. And that's why, like, and I'm still on the grind. No matter what it looked like, I'm still on the grind. I still am on a mission. And
what motivates you, though?
Oh my God, he works so much.
But you know, because you could have easily given up. You could. You could look. People who say things about you, you could let that get to you. If they said, "Oh, you shouldn't date Erica," whatever. You've been firm with your vision.
You know what? I just look at it like this, like, and in a humble way, like when people say stuff to me like that, I look at it like I'm better than you. You can't tell me nothing. I'm above you. I know we're both human, but you're not on my level. I'm sorry. With all due respect, I'm humble, but I'm better than you.
I promise you, he's so humble. When he has these
I'm not listening to you.
This is him in the mirror.
So
but he really is the most humble.
And I motivate myself like that.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
I motivate myself like that. Like I just.
But what motivates you? Why aren't you? I'm trying to get to the root of it because I think it's important when you see someone who's very strong and motivated.
Yeah.
Someone who might not have that. How do they dig into their self to find that?
Well, my mother, like, you know, growing up, my mother was, you know, beat senseless all the time, like abused and all of that. And I was the only guy in the house, and it was my mother and my sisters. And that's just something that I always keep in my mind because even though that was happening to her, she worked 2 and 3 jobs and provided for me and my 2 sisters. Like, we went to a private school, and our tuition was $500 a month, and it was like a pre-K to 8th grade. It was a Catholic school. And I look back at it, I don't know how my mother was doing that. She was paying $1,500 a month for years for me and my 2 sisters to go to this school. Before, I didn't know about public school until I hit 9th grade.
Wow.
Until I went to high school.
Oh, she wanted
and
you to have
she was going
everything.
hard. So I'm like, yo, she had the odds against her, like, you know, coming from Jamaica and not really having a whole bunch of people here and just figuring it out. And she was a hard worker. She worked at the place for like people with special needs. She was
She works with people with cerebral palsy.
Wow.
yeah.
It's crazy because my mom does the same thing.
Yeah, that's another
Really?
thing we was talking about too. Yep.
Wow.
Both of our moms take care of people, which is like it speaks volumes.
It's a
on
thankless, hard job,
yeah.
and they are heroes. You know,
Yeah.
when you see the kind of
And it's funny because his mom loves his client or her patients just as much as like my mom does.
you build family.
So we like.
And I've known them for like forever because as long as she's been doing that job, I used to come there sometimes when like if there was days where she couldn't take me to school and I would have to go to work with her, I would see them. So it's like these same special needs people who she had, like
they become part of our family.
they're grown. Like I
we
see
used to-
them now and
we
they
have
like
a Rockarani, right?
Yeah.
I have a Rockarani. Like
They're
they
family.
They have like a certain disability and they rock back and forth. And it was funny because one of the things.
that's how I go to sleep. Like I can't go to sleep without shaking my leg.
And it's having that connection, you two being able to share that about your own family. I mean, that I think again, it's a different kind of connection, right?
It's funny. Me and my best friend went to high school with him. We've always been in each other's orbit.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, that's
what?
crazy. Yeah.
Y'all went to high school together?
No,
My
her
best
Your
friend,
best friend went to high
and
school with
me,
you.
We went to high school together. We both went to Midwood High School, 9th
So I've
grade to 12th.
Oh, and then,
But you know what?
One of his first videos, I was
No,
a video girl
my
on it.
first music video I ever did, it was a song called Lottie Dottie. I was in a group called the Hood Stars. It was the Hood Stars and Park Slope, and she was a girl in the video. And I'll
Yeah.
never forget when I first saw her. She had on like a white
crazy.
and green, like a
Is this the outfit you
skirt.
had on?
It was like a tennis outfit.
Yeah.
And I was
a
like,
tennis player
and I was
every day.
looking at her in the video. I was like, yo, she looked good.
It's
and
just
then
crazy.
later
We've
on,
always naturally just been in each other's orbit, or we have something very
I
similar.
But
used
it
to
wasn't the right time then.
I
It
used
definitely
to,
wasn't.
I,
He
I,
needed
I didn't
time to
impress her. I
do
didn't even
his-
say nothing to her. When she was in Smooth Magazine, I used to have like all those, like I used to cut them up and hang them up. I had her hung up on my wall of women when I had like the Smooth Magazine and all
cool,
of that
right?
stuff. And then later on,
This is
like I've always been there.
But you know what? Right. But you know what? Timing is everything.
Yes.
And where you were maybe years ago or where you were, it wouldn't have been right. You guys might have
Yeah.
destroyed something before it could actually build.
Exactly.
And I feel like you two have gone through a lot, publicly and privately, I'm sure. But it feels like this is right.
Yeah.
And I hope you two are okay and not worried about the noise because there's always going to be people.
But that's what I'm saying. The time I spent by myself, I learned how to not get caught up in like fame and attention and just all of the things we're coming with being in the public eye. None of this shit phases me. Like I could.
How?
I don't know, and I thank God for it. Like I can go outside. Like yesterday, we went to the M&M store. She was like, "Oh, I want to go get M&Ms with my name on it." I never heard of that. We went in the store, and it was a movie. We created chaos. The whole
And
store.
literally, we were so incognito. The only thing that gave us away, though, was your fur.
Well, we definitely.
Yeah,
we
you
were-
can't. Come on, the coat. That coat.
He's like a walking landmark, man.
Come on.
Yo, so
I've never been with anyone
nah.
as
So
famous as him. I swear, anywhere we go, we get ambushed, and there's times I'm taking the picture.
But you're
They
cool.
just love.
And you're,
I'm totally with it.
Yeah, you're
'Cause
not-
honestly, he really is a superstar. Like he really is. He's so talented. He's so like smart, and he's so like.
thank you. Keep going. Let's not forget
creative.
good looking.
But you know what, Safaree?
Good looking.
Did you feel that your talents were overlooked because of the relationships and that life? Do you feel like, damn, focus on my music, on my talent?
Yeah, of course, because my introduction to the world was, you know, was with somebody else, and that magnitude of stardom is like the
Yeah, it's
height that you'll get
superstardom,
in
right.
life. Like it don't get bigger than that, and when it comes to just levels of fame. So it's like if that's how people saw me, it took a long time for people to finally be like, okay, now this is his identity. You know what I'm saying? It took before people used to just see me and be like, yo, that's what's his name again? What's his name? Like, you know what I'm saying? I used to be that, or just somebody's ex. You know what I'm saying? But then, you know, that's why I don't take no for an answer.
Erica, do you listen to Nicki's music? Or do you not listen to it? Because I feel like you're...
That's a real question right there.
I feel like Safaree's at a good place where he doesn't care. Music is music. As a musician, I feel like musicians have a different aura. They never trip. When it's good music, it's good music. Have you made a conscious effort, or are you just like, oh, it's cool? You don't think of it.
Honestly, I grew up on Little Kim so heavy.
Right.
That when that came out, I was like, oh, she's biting my girl.
Yeah,
it just was what it was.
Nicki. Nicki's still great.
But she is.
Right.
But I just I've never been drawn to it.
Got it. Okay.
I just feel like it was just always just cartoony and stuff.
So, but it's never point like if it's on, it's on.
She's great in what she does.
If it's on,
but
it's
me
on.
Me personally,
got it.
Yeah, like I mean, you're in a club, you're
That's
nice
what I'm saying. In the
already,
club, it's on.
But I don't know the words.
Right.
To
but
shit.
you're not going out of your way to be like, yo, DJ, stop. Like,
and I've definitely given her credit before publicly where it's due.
Right.
I have.
She's great. She's
and
great at
I'm
what she
big
does.
on that.
Sure.
But like as far as like being like a legitimate, like I listen to it like by choice.
Right, but you never did before, so this isn't something brand new.
No, it's
Do you
not.
get what I'm saying?
And I've been it's very public. Like even before he came along, like everybody knows I ride with my sis Remy.
Right.
But you know, before Remy, there was Kim that I was like grew up on. Hardcore was like my everyday in my
Did
CD
you like
player.
Foxy?
I did. I loved.
I was a big Fox fan.
Yes.
Fox, Boogie Brown.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
I could talk. By the way, Foxy left me a comment before, and I was so happy. Just because it's like, wow,
you could tell
it's
you
Foxy.
just got mad
I
excited.
feel like every time I even see Kim, I'm
You
like,
just
you're
got
so
real
great.
excited.
You know,
she's just so like, and she's so sweet and just.
It makes me happy. And women in hip hop, I feel like, is special. You know, and to see the greats that have come before and you know just done such great work, I get excited. Who are you listening to now?
As far as what
music? Like anything, your favorite song right now?
What's the Toast Girl?
Coffee.
I went to Jamaica.
It's a great song.
And I seen her perform at the Buju concert, and I just fell in love with just how she's so tiny, but has this big presence.
Really? I haven't seen her perform.
Oh my gosh, she has this presence that's just through the roof. And you watching her and listening to her music, you know she's about to be like the next big thing, crossover.
Safaree, who are you listening to right now?
I'm definitely listening to myself.
Right. We listen to you, babe. Take your regular girl out. But who are you checking for? Whose music do you really enjoy?
Let me see. Who do I listen to? Who have I been listening to lately? Who have I been listening to? I listen to a lot of reggae.
Every time we go in the car, it's Bounty Killer instantly.
And I love Bounty Killer.
I listen to Bounty. But
there's times where I'm like, if I hear Bounty's voice one more time.
Okay, Bounty Killer, Popcorn, Vibes Cartel. Let me see.
Yeah, Popcorn. Yeah, I love him too. We watch him all the time.
Has Safaree opened your eyes and mind to different music and just genres?
He's made me really appreciate the art of making music.
Right, I could see this. You play what instrument? What instruments do you play, Safaree?
I play the harp very well.
I thought you played the piano. No.
Yeah, I could play the little.
Yeah, he does.
The piano.
Get your
He actually does, and I learned that during the making of the video.
Yeah, she didn't know until we shot the video.
And then he sang.
It's all right to say that. That's not.
I'm trying to think who in hip hop I listen to. Like, what's hip hop that I listen to?
There's Drake. I'm trying to think. Migos. There's J. Cole.
But this is what I love about him.
Kendrick.
Is that he doesn't listen to the lane of like him being a rapper and stuff like that. He doesn't listen to a lot of rappers because he just wants to keep his own.
I get that.
Being and style and this that, and that's very hard to do.
It is.
You want to know who you're
going on
or what. Yeah.
Right.
But he's like the total opposite. He's very strong-minded in that, which I love. But like the art of making music, like when I first started
it's
music,
beautiful, right?
It really is. But I wasn't given a fair chance. Like I was just thrown a record. Here's the lyrics. Go in the booth. Love and Hip Hop's gonna film you. You sound horrible. They're airing this, and I was just kind of like it was traumatic for me. But now being with him and seeing like the real
Are you interested in music? Are you open to learning to do it the right way, to actually compose a record, to compose a song? And
I am, but I just feel like because of the mockery that comes,
it don't
with
matter.
anything
Look,
with
when
music,
when
let me tell them, like, this is like a real, you know how long people have been like, and she still doesn't have a record, and she's still like, oh, this person to drop an EP and Erica Mena doesn't, and it's like, that doesn't really bother me, because being on Love and Hip Hop, trying to be a music star, not coming from music, I wasn't given a fair chance. So it doesn't matter who throws out an EP or who does music or whatever after me. If they're successful, great. I wasn't given a fair opportunity where I can like be in the booth, sound bad, and learn or whatever it is, because no one goes in the booth not knowing and sounding great. I don't care who it is.
That takes time.
Shakira, Pink,
it takes
Jennifer
time.
Lopez. Yeah.
It doesn't matter who it is. It takes
I wasn't
time.
given that chance. I sounded bad. They aired it. It was funny. I've been a complete mockery ever since. So I think, I wouldn't say I'm discouraged, but I'm just kind of like over how people aren't open to giving me a chance. That it's just like, if I do it, it's because I want to do it when I'm ready again.
Exactly.
But
No
it's
pressure.
not something that I'm like on a mission on, just because people are just so mean.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, come on, give me a break. I was on the reality. And granted, who I had helping me with music, that all together was a joke.
I feel like Safaree could help. I feel like it'd come from a genuine place. If and when you're ready.
That's what I was gonna say. I spoke to her about that. When I was in LA, I was like, I got an idea. I'll talk to you about it when I see you.
Good. And I think this is important because Safaree, in the industry, it's known how talented Safaree is, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? I still got a little secret black cloud over me, though. The people know that, but they'll still be like, damn, man, I want to work with him, but you know what I'm saying? They be scared of who they'll offend by being, you know what I'm saying, next to me publicly and stuff like that. Like I still get that in the industry. But that's why, like, as far as me, I like work on what I work on and just do things in my own lane. And I know after a while I'm like, they gotta rock with it.
It takes you gotta have his confidence to do what he does.
I was gonna say that's why I'm
so
very
confident.
curious to
Sometimes
understand.
I even tapped into him like,
yes,
tell me my makeup looks good. Like, you tell me, because he's
beautiful,
so
Safaree.
confident that when I lack that feeling within myself,
I mean,
because it doesn't matter what he's going through. He's just he just knows how to just make himself feel great, and that's a trait I wish everybody had.
It's not a common trait. You know, even
we wouldn't have no haters.
And you know what, Safaree, even when Flex was giving you a hard time, and Flex, you know, will tease you, you never take it to a place of like, oh, mad. It's like you're okay with it. You know what I mean? Like, you're always pleasant when you come here. You never are disrespectful. And even when Flex gives you a hard time, you
even on the show, I've watched like some scenes on Instagram, and I'm like, you let him say that to you? Right. Or like, you let him like talk. And me, I'm just like,
it's different though. I think
he's so, it's confidence.
You can't fool. Listen, a wise man cannot argue with a fool, and I really live by that. Like, if I'm out somewhere and then some random like nobody with nothing yells out some like dumb shit, like, am I supposed to stop what I'm
even
doing?
On camera, you're great with that. Like,
but look who I'm with. These people ain't on my level. None of these people.
I also think when it comes to music, I think what I felt, even when someone like Flex gives his opinion, I think Safaree respects the game. The legends,
people,
right?
Even if they don't respect him.
But then that's what I'm saying.
I think music, like because I loved the fact that you were able to take the feedback, right? Because he's a musician. A lot of times, if you're not confident in what you do, you can't even hear feedback, and that was his opinion. So when he said what he said, that's why I'm like, all right, cool. That's how you feel about it. But you know what? I got another record. He's not tripping, but that's not a lot of musicians have that. You know, sometimes they're like, oh my gosh, that's it? That's how you feel? Like, Safaree's always kind of like came through, here's my music, oh, you're not feeling cool, whatever. It's not, it's your baby because it's your music, but you understand as a musician what it is. Yeah. You know what I mean? I know, like, I kind of, my like real opinion that I really like honor and be like, okay, cool,
is like my fans and my supporters and like general public. I know it's like in this business, the people who are like the legends and just the people behind the scenes, sometimes they're just so opinionated,
Right.
and they're too opinionated, and sometimes I feel like, all right, cool, that's your opinion.
But you're never disrespectful, though.
No.
And I think
Not
that's
even with me.
important to point out because you're professional about it. Last time you were here during Summer Jam announcement, even with Flex teasing, but you still were professional. And I think that's why we see you where you are now. And when you come up here and you have a
takes
song
too much
like
energy.
It does, but when you bring a song like No Regular Girl, because you've been professional, right? People listen and they're like, oh, wow, I like this song.
Yeah.
And I don't know where you learned that from, but I think that's an important skill set.
I think your mommy.
Probably
You're
my
very
mother
professional.
His
not
mom
being
is-
drunk. That has a lot to do with it too.
I think his mom is just like, she really talks to him. She takes the time to talk to him, and he don't. There's times where he's like, but like
We
his
all are,
mom
right.
takes the time to like, but like all our moms do. But I think his mom does go up and beyond. She just knows what's going on, and she just knows how to kind of keep him, just spiritually connected to whatever it is he really like, where he. That initial feeling, you know, when you left home, you're like, I'm gonna do this.
Yes.
She's able to bring him back to that. And that's a connection that
That's beautiful.
It's just like so dope. That
And
I even call her like, I know you ain't know me that long, but you know. She's just really amazing at that.
But it
My
exudes.
mother's a great talker. Yeah.
Yeah, she
But I've never heard anything about Safaree literally being disrespectful, difficult to work with.
We were just talking about it. I was like, yo, if somebody really has an issue with me, they're just a hater, they're insecure, or they probably found out that they girl had a picture of me in their phone and they got in an argument with it before. Because, yo, even like, I'm just somebody, I don't go around arguing with people.
Right.
But like, it's too much energy. Like, I got real things I'm trying to do and accomplish here. So to sit here and argue and go back and forth with idiots, it's like, that'll take away from what I'm really trying to do.
No, I've learned so much for that. I'm like, how did it this? Or even times when
Yeah,
I'm with
'cause
him,
she-
I'm ready to go off. And he's like, babe.
And it's also
I'm like,
about
she's
being
being rude.
Sometimes it's
She's
not
an
worth
old
it.
woman.
yeah.
Yeah, we were in
Perspective.
we were in Jamaica and this like older lady, we was ordering
We
some
went on the line
beef
for beef
patties,
patties.
but then when
She was
it-
so
when it-
nasty and rude.
but look, when it got up to us, the lady, she was like, "Oh no, I stepped away, but I was right here." And then like they was about to start arguing. I'm
It
like,
was how she did it.
I was just like, who? Like the lady was an older woman. I'm like, so what? Just let her go. Like she's an older woman. You're gonna sit here and
But
argue
long
with her?
story short, he really does like he's just that
Centered.
yeah, he's that conscience
Yeah,
that like
centered.
we wish we really like
I'm very centered.
had in front of us on a day to day.
And you believe it's from his mother.
Definitely. She's so centered. She
How-
really is.
How has she embraced you?
Oh
You
my
feel
God.
good?
I speak to her so
She talks to my mother more than me now.
Good. This is a good
That's
thing.
crazy.
This is a good thing.
No, she's incredible. Like, you know, and it's weird because now the more we talk, there's days where she's like, you're feeling uneasy. Get a journal. Start writing. You know,
love
and like
this.
it's little tips like that it's like
You're lucky.
you
have a
know,
great
like
mom.
I'm like, you know what? You're right. Because I just think too much. And sometimes I get uneasy because I'm overthinking.
Yeah, sometimes
And
thinking too much ain't good.
yeah, and it makes sense to write. And that was something I used to do back in the day. That's how I got even to Love and Hip Hop. I used to write down, like, when I first saw
Right.
Love and Hip Hop here, I was like, I'm going to be on Love and Hip Hop. And I wrote that down. Next thing you know, like a year later, I was on Love and Hip Hop. And I forgot that element of how powerful my thoughts were.
What do you want to write down and accomplish?
Right now,
Yeah. What is the one thing that you're hoping that you can get accomplished that you're going to write down? It could be. It doesn't have to be career. It could be self. It could be. It doesn't have to
really-
always be career.
I
Because
really want to accomplish, like I've dreamt about this all my life. It was like my first initial, and that's why I made the EPK, which got into Mona's hands.
Right.
But I really want to I want to do more of my movie stuff.
Good.
Like I just feel like me and how I'm able to handle emotions and deliver and just reenact and just tap into whoever it is I want to be or whatever. I just want to really do more acting, and then I want to expand my family. It's time. It's been 12 years
I just shot a movie, and when I had to like go over my lines and all of that, I practiced it with her, and it helped me a lot. Like I was able to memorize it. Like when I went and I was on set. I told him how
to memorize his script and my tricks.
It's a Christmas movie. It's coming out this Christmas. It's called Hip Hop Holiday. And, you know, I had to do like some crazy stuff in it. And she just was like, you know, it's a movie. Do what you got to do.
And for me, it's just an opportunity, you know, like I got a chance to work with Chris Stokes, who like hands down, like I owe him big time. He gave me an opportunity to work in LA on a movie called Swag Inc. that's gonna be airing in BET next year.
Right.
And just being able to find, like, someone finally gave me a chance, and once he saw my deliverance, he was like, whoa, like you could really act, and just being able to spend time with people who are actually giving me the time, and then he linked me up with acting coaches, and I took time to like really, so I'm really like trying to embody that, and then I want, it's been 12 years, it's time for me to spit out a few kids.
Yes.
So I want to expand on that.
Hey.
Are you with it?
I'm here.
There were rumors that you were.
Yeah, because
everybody was saying.
But you're not pregnant. You're not pregnant.
No.
They've been saying she was pregnant since December, and this is it's about to be May.
Yeah, you don't look pregnant unless you're doing a great job. Yeah,
it's a lot of festival and dumplings.
Not today.
But we
gotta work on our pouch.
Oh my God! Since I got with him, you know what? That's love weight.
It is love weight. It happens.
Is that?
It is. It's true. It's happy weight. It's really called happy weight.
Did you gain weight? Like,
I think so.
Yeah.
I think I gained weight. I mean,
I don't see it. I feel it.
I think you look.
It's because me, I'm snatched. But when I take pictures, I'm like.
I feel like I enjoy how you look right now than when I saw you a while ago. I feel like you're healthy.
Yeah, you can't see the bones in my chest no more.
I feel like you're healthy and very happy. And I'll take this Erica all day, every day.
Oh, thank you.
100%.
Yeah, I was telling her, I was like, you know, all my Nessa interviews are the highest rated. I get the most viewed every time I sit here.
They're very different Ericas, and this Erica I'm enjoying. I feel like you're growing into you. You know, you had to go through a couple of those intense moments.
A lot of couples.
But you're.
I want a baby too, so we're on the same page.
Good. Any wedding plans?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a headache. I'm letting her do everything.
He wants 2 weddings, and I'm just like,
weddings?
Because I want to do one in Jamaica.
I mean, it makes sense.
But my dresses are amazing. And
how many dresses are we looking at?
43. She's gonna change. She's gonna change for each step down the aisle.
No. Right now it's 4, but I'm trying to minimize.
4?
Yeah.
She's outrageous.
Ooh, Erica. 4?
And I have Ryan and Walter, who are incredible wedding designers. But listen, you got the bridal shower, you got the rehearsal dinner, and then you got the 2 dresses of like.
Okay, fair, because you didn't break it down like that.
Because I've always been inspired by the Indian wedding thing, how they like it goes on.
Right. It's beautiful.
I kind of want to keep that element going.
Right.
I want it to feel like that's what it is.
Right.
Because I'm not marrying an Indian. I'm marrying a fine Jamaican.
But
I still want that vibe.
You want
where the wedding just lasts.
You days. want the experience to keep going.
I do. Because this is my forever.
This has to make you feel good, Safaree.
Hey, I feel great. And I tell her all the time. I always text her and I say, yo, no matter where I'm at,
I had my phone right now.
No matter like what I'm doing.
He texted me today.
I'm always like, it just feels good knowing that she's my other half. No matter whether we're in the same place, same city, I'm on a plane or not, it just always feels good to know that I'm coming home to you. You're coming home to me.
I low key purposely do lunch dates with my girls so I can leave for like an hour because I get the sweetest text from him.
That's why she's dressed right now. She was out with her friends having some dinner
he was
brunch.
like, where you at? I'm coming back. It's like, I'm going to Nessa. What? I'm coming.
You have to come.
So that's why I'm here. And otherwise I would be with my girls still.
Of course. And you know, I love the energy between you two. I love that you know what you want to do, Erica. And I love that Safaree, you're focused on your music and everyone's been really enjoying the song No Regular Girl. I think this is nice that you're finally able to give what you've always wanted to give, which is the music. And you guys get to love each other during this process.
Yep.
Now, before you run out of here, some fun, quick questions, okay? And you guys answer individually.
Okay.
Oh, this is cute.
Should the fellas pay for the first date?
Of course. Absolutely.
Yeah, but if you're me,
Yeah.
Just pull out that card.
I
and
like that.
just
That's one thing I like
switch
with her
things
too.
up.
Switch things up.
She helps.
She
I
helps.
Like when we flew to Jamaica to shoot this video, and I was paying for all the stuff because I paid for everything for this video myself. She was like, if there's anything you need help with, let me know. And when she says that, I don't really take it for real. But then, like, she paid to fly my barber to because I had to have my barber like in Jamaica
like
for
a
a week.
50-50 deal around here, you know?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
But that's different. You guys are in a very committed relationship.
Yeah.
Marriage is coming. You know, that's different. That's real support. Should couples share their phone codes with each other?
Yeah, Papoose and Remy does.
Yeah, like
We love them.
We love them, but we're so like
we're
you know mine.
Yeah, but we're practically in each other's phone all the time anyway. Because when we're like on the phones, it's like we're on the phones and we're like right like next to each
I
other.
don't really know yours, but I can't remember nothing.
Safaree, she better.
She doesn't know it because she doesn't remember nothing.
Yeah,
How
no,
many
he'll tell
times
me and I'll
she's
forget.
had she's had my phone and I'm like, yo, boom, 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 and then she does it
And I'll forget. And I'll be like,
numerous
what is it again?
times.
Right. Okay.
She-
But he's told you and you just forgot. Okay.
Plenty
Yeah,
times.
okay.
I'm not
She's
that
never
type.
had my phone and she like, oh babe, I need to do something. I'm like, oh, okay, give me it. Like she'll
Yeah.
take the phone. I'm like, all right, here.
Yeah, no, we're
unlock
not.
it, and you know what I'm saying?
Not worried about what's in it.
Yeah, no, but he can pull out mine. You can pull out mine, right? Pull up mine.
I don't remember yours, but you
As soon
tell
as
it
it's
to
in front
me.
of you, you do it, right?
No, I don't
It's
remember
the same
it.
one as the phone one that we play music on.
I don't remember. Like even with mine, the only reason I know mine is because it's a number my mother gave me. That's the only reason. So like I have stuff
But
that.
the question is yes, I'm both.
So phone
Yeah.
codes share in a
Okay.
couple relationship. Okay, if you saw your friend's boo cheating on them at a party, what would you do in that moment? Call your friend and be like, "Hey, I see your man's, your girl, da da da."
Oh, I'm definitely
Or are you
telling.
confronting
I'm
them?
a ride or die friend.
Hold on, if I
I'm
see
not gonna
mine.
confront. That's not my business. But
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna let it be known, so at least my friend.
Okay, so you would call your friend immediately and
I'll
tell.
take pictures, all that.
Safaree, what are you doing?
I'm gonna take a video, record it, and then text it to my homeboy and say, "I told you, bro."
Oh my God. Okay, what do you do if you're at a party and you see your ex? Do you say hello or do you act like you don't see them?
Ew. You don't see them.
Don't see them for Erica.
We be having mass security, so they ain't gonna be
Yeah,
able
they
to
can't
see us.
see us. They can't see us.
No, they ain't gonna be able to see us.
And who should say "I love you" first in a relationship?
I'll let you
Yo, let me tell you, when me and her first started dealing, like before I went to like physically be with her like all the time, it was like torture because I wanted to say to her so bad, and I kind of was like feeling it too. And then it's like when I was with her, yo, the first time I said it to her, she just looked at me.
Yo, Erica.
Yo, the
Because
first time I
love
said
you
it to
is
her,
strong.
It is.
So I just wanted to register.
yo,
And
she
you know,
just
most girls
looked
just say
at
it
me.
just to say it. I'm just not that
Nah,
girl just to
she
say
ain't
it.
say it just to say it. We was, you know,
It took a month for me to say it after he said it to me.
Were
it was
you
a few weeks.
Did you at that
Like 2
moment
weeks, it
though?
wasn't
Because
a
you know
month.
sometimes guys or girls, if they don't hear it right away back, they feel kind of like, okay, it's the end of
Nah,
it.
I was hurt, but I just was like, you know what? I'm gonna give her time. I'm like, it's gonna be.
Oh wow,
you
that's
know?
maturity.
But you know what? I explained to him. He was like, "What are you gonna say?"
Nah, I totally understood though.
And I was like, "Well, listen, like for me to say that, I want to make sure,
and that's what you want.
you know.
Safaree,
So like, I don't want to just tell you something just because you told me.
Yeah,
Like,
I even.
being that you told me gives me like the confidence and
The first time she said
the
it back to me,
you
it
know
was,
what I mean? The respect for me to explore that whatever I'm feeling to really
Right.
tap into to feel that way about you.
Look, it was November 27th, and we was in front of her house in her driveway, and that was the first time she actually said it back to me.
I love this, by the way.
I was leaving
November
to fly.
27th?
Yeah, I was leaving to fly back to New York before Thanksgiving.
Do you remember how I grabbed your face?
Yeah, but even the way she said it, it was still like when I said it, I was like super like looking her in her
he was
eyes.
like-
I was sincere, like I wanted to
Oh,
melt.
it was so
and
romantic.
I just said it.
That's also too what had me shook.
Because it was
She
romantic.
she still had the little wall
Because
up.
he's a nice guy.
This is a lot. This is amazing.
Right.
This is a lot. He means it. oh shit,
Here we
girl,
go.
this is deep.
It's
Like
going.
all of that is going through my head. So as far
Whoa.
as what I said,
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
So how did so Safaree, in your version, how did Erica say it to you?
When she said it to me, it's like she kind of said it in like it was almost. It was like playful a little bit. It wasn't like super serious. Like when I said it, I was so serious. Like if somebody was there, like they would have probably started to like tear up and be like, wow, he meant that shit. And then when she said it to me, it was like, I love you too. I was like,
You're sweet.
I was like, what? I'm like, okay, I'll see you
That
later.
was my sexy. Like, I love you too.
No, that's
No?
not how you did it. No.
I love you too. Something like that.
Nah, you didn't do it coming in my face like that. Pause. You was like, you just said it like, you was just like.
But now who says I love you more? Like, how many times you get sick of me saying it?
No, I definitely don't get sick of it because now, you know, we just live in a day and age where you have to really show gratification and you tell your loved ones that you love them
I think this is important.
all
Yeah, like I literally,
day.
like, got
As
out
soon
the
as I
car.
wake up in the morning, what's the first thing I say to you?
Good morning, Empress.
Like I tell her like I love her like before we go to sleep, as soon as we wake up, I'm rubbing up, doing my little dry hump thing before I fall asleep. And
I think this is important. You know, before we began the interview, when I wanted to say that you guys have been such a pleasure today because, you know, there's a lot of emotions on
Yeah.
the day. It's been heavy.
Definitely.
And you guys came in here with such great attitudes and energy because, you know, since the passing of Nipsey Hussle, I feel like we've all been so hurt and just trying to get through the days and motions and you know, it's been tough and seeing the memorial service and seeing it play and seeing, it's so painful to watch.
yeah, yep.
And I didn't know him like that. You know, of course, I've
you
interviewed
still
him
feel
before
it.
and he was always so kind and genuine. But it's just, I can't even imagine what his family's
Oh
going
my God!
through.
As soon as I was on our way here and I seen it on live stream, and as soon as I got out the car, I was like, I hugged him instantly, just.
That's why
And
saying I,
cried.
love you is important
like,
to one another.
I cried for a second. He's like, "What? You're watching Nipsey's?" And I was like, "Yeah."
That's why I got shades on because before I came here, I was watching the stream and I was watching everyone, you know what I'm saying? And when I seen like how angelic his mother sounded, like she sounds so beautiful and just so pure when she speaks. And that just kind of, it like made me feel.
It's like she's at peace with it.
Yeah, it made me feel good.
And then you
But
see Lauren and. Yeah.
when his brother spoke, I was like,
Oh, yeah.
that made me start to tear up when his brother
Absolutely.
started speaking. Like when he said, if I die, I hope I made the set proud, nigga. Like, and then that made the crowd erupt because that was like the first time that like some street kind of vibe was brought to the whole the service, and you just felt that emotion, and that shit was like, that shit, it hurt.
I think since this happened, we're just
I'm in shock. Like I've met him a couple times, and it was always love. Like I pushed back like my promo, everything I was doing, because the day I dropped the song, I dropped it Friday, and then he passed that Sunday, and then I just halted everything because I'm like, yo, I don't even feel right like promoting
It doesn't
or
feel
just
right,
doing
right,
anything.
to
You
do
know what I'm
anything.
saying?
It's really, I feel that from everyone, right? It just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then me knowing Lauren, I'm like,
Can you imagine?
I can't. Like just thinking about it makes me want to cry for
Yes.
her.
Oh,
And it's
all
just
day.
like, and the kids and Lauren, if you know Lauren, she's so private and she's so assertive in a way, but she's most importantly private.
Yeah.
And I think what's not only hard about losing this, but how just public everything is and
Right.
the forefront she is and how she really has to hold it down moving forward, which I know she's capable of doing.
Of course.
It's just
It's overwhelming.
to get to that point. You know, you
Oof.
just have to send so much prayer and light to her.
Right.
Because like Lauren, like if you know low, she's very on the low. So like this is a lot for her. This is a lot of publicity. This is a lot of hurt. This is a lot of loss. This is like, it's just a bigger, you know.
Right. It's pain.
Yeah.
And, I think maybe that's why today I've been very pushy to be peacemaker, right? I think you know, we do this and we have fun with entertaining, and then things happen and you're just like, man, it's life's short.
Yeah.
You know, and it's important that we take lessons from everything.
Yeah.
And, you know, hopefully we all begin to heal, because I think this was like so tragic, and I think it impacted everybody differently, and knowing what he did for communities and that kind of love, you know, it wasn't just music.
It's incredible to be like,
Right.
now you see everything you lay down in the forefront, like, oh my God, he was really holding this down.
Which is why it's important that if you know people who are doing great work, or if you are that person, know that you're appreciated, and to share that love to one another, because it's hard work.
Yeah, you have to start
It's a
appreciating
thankless
people while
job.
they're here.
Yes,
I think that's what this really means for like everybody.
absolutely.
There's a
100%.
lot of people who aren't taken or appreciated when they're alive, and then
Yes.
when things
It
happen,
shouldn't take a tragedy
it's
for
like
us to
all this
appreciate
love,
one
and
another.
it's like, where was this? Like, they should have felt this, you know, on Earth.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, God forbid, like if anything was to happen, you know what I'm saying, to anybody else like that close to me or me or whatever, it's like, yo, how do you even,
How do you, right?
like, that's all you could say. Like, how do you even deal with it? So it's like, I would want everybody, whether you in a business or not, I just really wish that everybody could really show that love to people while they're still here, because I know it's like he was doing his thing, but you know he didn't know he was this powerful.
Right.
Like, this is like
I wish he could have.
this is like a different type of
enjoyed the
power.
love.
Yeah, like I wish he could have been able to be like, wow, like this is for me.
And it happens all the time, which is why it's important while we're here to have a purpose, to do right, and, you know, hopefully it inspires the world to be a better place. I think, sadly, it took this tragedy for people to maybe open their eyes,
need
but
it
we
everywhere.
shouldn't have to wait for tragedy to
Yeah.
love one another,
Yeah.
you know? So hopefully, you know, we leave today feeling like, okay, heal and let's spread love, because
Yeah.
it's tough. You know, life goes like this. So
Yeah.
I just want to thank you guys for coming and sharing and being
Thank
open
you.
and being vulnerable.
And thank you and your man for holding
Of
it down
course.
like
Hey,
y'all be doing.
thank you.
Because we be
Thank-
seeing y'all too.
Thank you, Erica. That means a
It was
lot.
at
You guys,
that
like,
Quavo
literally,
football
like-
game too. I seen
Yeah,
it.
that's
we
what
had a
the
great
honcho-
time.
Yeah,
And we had a
you guys
great
killed
time.
the honcho game.
And you know what? It was great to feel that love.
Yeah, you
And
guys
so-
deserve it, and I don't think you guys get that enough, especially
thank
you. Like, it's got to be. I mean, the man is the man, but it's all about, you know, the woman behind the man too. Like,
Thank you, Erica.
you know, holds down just as much weight, if not more.
I
Because
appreciate
there's
that.
times where
This
you
is like
defend
this
him.
is like a girls trip.
It's okay,
No, but
Safaree.
seriously.
Say it out. It's fine.
No, there's times
Good.
because, you know, he has to
Right.
play his position, but the fact that, you know, and how you step up and defend him
Right.
speaks volumes
It's
on the
family,
woman that you are.
Right? And that's when it's personal.
Yeah.
This is family to me. This is
Yeah.
someone who's selfless, who loves the people, even
Yeah.
if he never knew them. That's why he took a knee, right?
Yeah.
And so I think seeing someone so selfless like that, I feel like I have to protect
Yeah,
him.
you should.
And I feel like the people have done a great job protecting him. But I just I feel strong about love today, and I think I enjoy seeing you happy, Eric. I
Thank
really do. And Safaree, like I said, you've always been professional. No matter who's teasing you or poking at
Yeah.
you always come up here and you're
Ain't on
pleasant.
my level. It's all good.
Look,
That's it.
I love
Yeah.
this. You know, the lady was trying to cut y'all in line. It's all good.
Yeah.
She's like,
He
you
accepts
know.
me. He knows I'm a crazy Latina, so.
And he's gonna love on
That's
you.
what he fell in love with, right? I always tell you that.
Yeah, I think so.
You too. Thank you so much for coming
Thank you,
by.
Nessa.
Of course.
Yeah. Shit.